Johnson, after years of pain and suffering, you've petitioned the court for a DNA test to answer the question your son Damien has had all his life. Who is my father? You believe the defendant's deceased brother, Mr. Damien Ellerson, is the answer, and the DNA results will prove that today. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Fortuné, you claim your brother cannot be the father because Ms. Johnson has admitted to sleeping with other men. But if today's results prove he is the dad, he would be his only biological child. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Damien Johnson.
Yes, Your Honor.
You lived for years without knowing who your father is, and today you hope to finally have the truth. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. So, Ms. Johnson, I'll start with you. Why are you so positive Mr. Ellerson is Damien's biological father?
Damien, he was my first love. I would do anything for him. We were together all the time, and it just, I know in my heart that he is his father.
Ms. Johnson, when did you first tell the family that Mr. Ellerson could be Damien's biological father? When did you first share this information?
Like a week after his 13th birthday. And that's because when he was first born, I got assistance from the state, and I gave 2 potential names, and one of them had a DNA test and the other one didn't. He was automatically assumed the father by default, and that was when he was 2 months old.
The second name
Yes.
didn't show up to court?
Yes.
All right.
He waited until a week before his 13th birthday to have a DNA test done at home. Then my son comes home from being at his house for the weekend, and he said, "Mom, my dad stuck a Q-tip in my mouth and said he was checking to see if I had any diseases."
Whoa.
And I said, "No, son, a DNA test is what he did."
So, Damien, I want to ask you this. Since you remember and you told your mom, tell me about that day. You were visiting the man you believed to be your biological father.
The dude that's supposed to be my dad signed my birth certificate. He pretty much was all on a roll, like, yeah, we're just checking to see if he had any diseases. Like, I asked him too. I was like, you know, like, what's going on? He just, we're checking to see if he had any diseases. So later on that day, I ended up going home with him, and then I ended up going home to my mom after he dropped me off. And I told my mom, like, Mom, this doesn't seem right. Like, he took me to doctors to see if I had any diseases. Like, I'm 12 years old. Why would I have any diseases like that, you know? So, like, I was still sick later on that day. I ended up going home, and I just told my mom, like, something about this just doesn't feel right, you know?
And so, Ms. Johnson, you remember that day, and at some point, did you get the results?
Yes, and it came back that he wasn't his.
Oh.
And then he just stopped talking to me. He just, like, left me, just, no dad.
So, Ms. Johnson, that's what leads you to now believe Mr. Ellerson is Damien's biological father.
Yes.
Because the other 2 gentlemen who you thought were are not possibilities.
Right.
You have no relationship really with the family, but you named
you-
your son Damien right after Mr. Ellerson. That's his name.
Correct. And that's because he was my first love, and he was murdered. I was dating him. We had relations up until he disappeared.
You wasn't dating him. Miss Johnson, not only that, you slept with 2 of my cousins.
I slept with 1.
2.
1.
2.
Oh, so are you testifying that you believe your cousin, not your brother, could be Damien's biological father?
Yes.
Ms. Johnson, you did sleep with Mr. Ellerson's cousin?
Yes, I did.
Well, that cousin is here, and I think we need to hear from him. Jerome? Your cousin, Miss Fortuné, said that she believes you could in fact be Damien's biological father. What do you say to that?
I mean, myself, I don't believe I am, but I mean, there's always a possibility.
Why don't you believe you are? Do you admit having a sexual relationship with Ms. Johnson?
Yes, I do.
Was the sex protected?
No, it wasn't.
So tell me about your relationship with her.
I mean, at the time, me and my cousin, we were real close. I'm like, every time he was with Misty, I pretty much was with him, so I knew about Misty. But I never looked at Misty as, you know, somebody to be with. It just kind of happened at that point. So once my cousin passed away, she reached out to me, I think, to get some belongings of his, you know, and I was emotional about it too. I went over there, was talking to her just about my cousin, reminiscing, and it just kind of, one thing led to another. And the reason why I wasn't protected, because it wasn't planned. It's just something that happened.
Since being told that Mr. Henley could potentially be your biological father, have you tried to develop a relationship at all with him?
I have not. But at this time, it would be nice to know who my dad is. You know, everybody else got their dad. Everybody else growing up have their dad there. I don't, you know? So it'd be nice to be able to call somebody dad, you know?
So at this point, we are dealing with 4 possible fathers, 2 of which we have no determination at this point. Ms. Johnson, I believe in this court record, you then told your son there was another possible father.
Yes.
Mr. Slaughter.
Yes.
Can you tell me about your relationship with Mr. Slaughter?
It wasn't no commitment. We'd go over there.
So you basically were having a casual sexual relationship with Mr. Slaughter?
Yes.
The first question we asked Mr. Slaughter was, what was the nature of your relationship with Ms. Johnson, and how did you find out about Damien?
We met through a mutual friend. I know might have been sometime in the early 90s. We kind of lost track of each other after, you know, our relations, and then I seen her later on in life. Well, Miss Johnson told me possibly about 2 years ago that I might be a possible father for Mr. Johnson. And my first reaction to that situation was like, I don't think so. I mean, he doesn't look anything like me, and why would you wait till he's a grown man to tell me that I might be a possible father when all this time you've known me and we've been friends and it never came up before?
That's not true.
Why is that?
Because it wasn't 2 years ago that I had got in contact with him about this.
When was it?
Back when he was 13.
So your testimony is at the point you realized that man number 2 was not Damien's biological father, you basically started calling everybody. You admittedly were sleeping with multiple men. You said you were fast, and you said you were sleeping around. So you just said, you know what? I'm fanning out, and I'm telling everybody I was having sex with, you could potentially be my son's biological father.
Yes, because we didn't end up following through with it back then, and that's why we're here today.
What we know now is, to this point, we have 5 potential fathers.
There's another one.
Yes.
You said there's another one.
Yes.
So that is
Man, Missy.
potential father number 6.
Yes.
And who is this man?
Mr. Harmon.
So tell me about your relationship with potential father number 6, Mr. Harmon.
There wasn't one. We hung out a couple times and had a couple sexual encounters, and that was it. There was nothing whatsoever.
So this
other
was
than
just sex?
Yes.
But it was unprotected.
Yep.
Which is why you say he could potentially be Damien's biological father.
Right.
Well, Mr. Harmon is here, and we'd like to hear from him. Jerome, will you please escort Mr. Harmon into the courtroom?
Yes.
We have an incredible young man here who deserves to know who his father is, and his mother, Ms. Johnson, has indicated to this courtroom that she was involved in a sexual relationship with you, and that you are one of 6 potential fathers. When is the first time you heard Damien could potentially be your biological son?
4 weeks ago.
Just 4 weeks ago?
4 weeks.
So Miss Johnson reached out to you?
Well, we're friends. We're still friends.
Oh, wow. So you have been friends
Yes.
and you've seen Damien,
Yes.
been around him,
Yes.
but you never knew
No.
he could potentially be your biological son?
No, I didn't. I have other kids, but I don't think that he's mine.
So, Ms. Johnson, how did you tell Mr. Harmon he could be the father? I mean, he says he knows you. He's seen
I'm still
Damien.
friends with Mr. Henley and Mr. Slaughter. We all still conversate. We just never took the step to actually get to the bottom of it until my son reached out and said, "Mom, could you please help me? I need to know where I came from."
It's all so much just like built up. It's just like sometimes I just don't want to think about anything, you know. I just want to box myself away, you know. So
He just said,
When
"Mom,
you say
please
you
help
want to
me."
box yourself away, what do you mean, honey?
Like,
I see the tears in your eyes. What do you mean box yourself away?
I feel like I'm not as good as everybody else because they all got dads, you know.
Oh,
Don't ever feel
just
like
break
that.
my heart. Don't you ever feel like that. Do you hear me? Look at me. Don't you ever feel like that. You are worth it. You are just as good.
You ain't
You
any
are. Do you understand me?
Yes, Your Honor.
The first results relate to Mr. Harmon. In the case of Johnson versus Fortuné, when it comes to 22-year-old Damien Johnson, it has been determined by this court. Mr. Harmon, you are not the father. These results pertain to Mr. Slaughter. When it comes to 22-year-old Damien Johnson, it has been determined by this court. Mr. Slaughter is not the father. These results pertain to Mr. Henley. When it comes to 22-year-old Damien Johnson, it has been determined by this court. Mr. Henley, you are not the father. It has been determined by this court. The percentage of relatedness between Miss Lethea Murray and Damien Johnson is 0.00%. You are not related. We are at the point where we have gone through 6 potential fathers. You have laid it all on the line, but we know now there's at least more somewhere.
Yes, there is.
How many more?
3.
3 more. Damien, just take a breath, honey. Like I said, we gonna go to war for you today. That's what happens when you have people on your team. When you want to give up, we don't give up.
I'm ready to give up.
No,
Don't you ever.
no, Damien. Hand, give me a hand. We're gonna keep going. One foot in front of the other. We're gonna do it. You're gonna keep your head up because you are an incredible young man. You have come here and you have exhibited the type of character that I can only hope my son would exhibit one day. And I don't want you to feel anything about not being worth it.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay?